Ford said it's such a beautiful day. It's such a spectacular view to see the highway we are about to dedicate. Much of the reconstructed highway was built on the old Saddle Road. The effort to produce a modern highway is a prime example of government and the community working together to accomplish a common goal. The work on this stretch of the highway that we are dedicating and opening today fulfills the late Senator Inouye's vision of a safe, efficient route across the largest island in our state. This was no small undertaking, as all of you are told. We're talking about 48 miles of World War II era road to modern safety standards. Safety is especially critical as the Daniel K. Inouye Highway can receive more than 200 inches of rain per year in some spots. And I know that many who have driven the old Saddle Road will tell you you can't really compare from a safety perspective. The work done on this project to connect the existing highway near milepost 11 to the west end of the Pu'ainako Street extension will result in significant safety improvements with a straighter road alignment and wider lanes to reduce accidents. The highway is nearly 5,500 inches in height. Additional safety features include an 8-foot shoulder and a climbing lane to allow safer passage. This project has gone from design to construction on time and within budget, which is my favorite thing to say. This project team met the unique environmental challenges posed by working in this rainy environment and across various surfaces, such as volcanic ash, pahoehoe, basalt, as well as coming up against rapid ohia death and ensuring that we did not spread the disease across from east to west. And mahalo again to all the collaborators on this special project to finalize Senator Dan Inouye's vision of a thriving Hawaii island connected east to west. Your contributions will benefit generations to come on Hawaii Island and exemplify the Native Hawaiian concept of laulima, that is, many hands working together to achieve great things. Mahalo and aloha.
And once again, it's Senator Inouye's vision and his foresight that continues to provide so much support for the people of Hawaii, and this is yet another example. And he may have left us, but he hasn't really left us, right, Jennifer? I'm glad you're here. You know, Saddle Road, when it was built in 1942, was really for a military purpose, and certainly safety of the community and the public using Saddle Road was not uppermost in their minds, because uppermost in the minds of the military was at that time to have a very efficient road for their use. And I know for a fact that Saddle Road was one of the most dangerous highways in the entire state. How do I know this? Because when I used to be in private practice, we had some cases that involved horrible accidents taking place on Saddle Road. So I would come and visit and see where the road alignments were off and where the view planes were off and all of that, and to know that through your efforts, and I $300 million in federal money, yay. Through all of our efforts, you know that this road project and realignment and all the work that has gone into this vision of Senator Inouye's will prevent accidents and save lives.
When he was saying when the first Saddle Road was built, I was thinking, God bless, I was born before that. And that's the truth. And here I am on the final link. But in truth, in regards to how we feel about this road, I think if you are from here, when it was just a figment of imagination of Senator Inouye, on truthfulness, you didn't think that was possible. I really did not believe this day would come because it was such we're talking about, 50 miles, and not very easy terrain, where people born and raised here, it is of truth. because this was such a terrible road. They would live here all their lives and they never went up Center Road. And just because of reputation, which was justified, you don't know how good it feels to stand here and see this highway, even with the wind messing up my hair. Thank you.
We did it. We did it. As the mayor was saying earlier, there was a lot of doubt out there for a number of years on whether we're going to be doing this or not. The risk that we're taking with building parts of it and knowing that we probably wouldn't finish the rest. And to stand here with everyone else, I just wanted to say we all did this. So I appreciate. Governor, thank you for your leadership in support of completing this Portland Highway and for your support for the peer-to-peer engagement between Federal Highways and Hawaii DOT. You have been clearly a supporter of it. We feel inspired by that, and we're going to stick with this peer-to-peer engagement. I think between Ford and Ralph representing FHWA, the two of you came up with about 65% of the funds for this highway. That's quite a lift. Thank you. And for the military and for all that you've done, both in funding and supporting what's vitally needed access for so many people who travel this highway. And you also provided an incredible resource for us in terms of materials that were needed for the highway. So when you add the benefit of that and then the military funds that came with it, you came up with the rest of 35%. That's quite a contribution. Most of all, I wanted to extend appreciation for what should always be for Senator Inouye. And those who live on in his memory, the dedication and commitment to serve. He was a hero for our country when we faced our greatest challenge, and he came back as a champion in service for the people of Hawaii and all your needs. I remember after a road opening about 8 years ago, Senator Inouye had taken a quick tour of the project, and he came back and he pulled a couple of us aside. And he mentioned that segment that just was completed, he had the opportunity to drive, exceeded his expectations. And then he said, we're going to finish this. And then he looked at me and he said, you're going to build it? And I said, yes, sir. And the military was there. We also had representatives from Hawaii DOT, and he says, our job is to all come together and find how we're going to get this done. And then before he left, he asked us to remember the task force and why the task force existed. Is he had an experience with the previous task force that didn't go so well. And this task force was going to be a uniting entity on the Big Island and make things happen. So we always remembered the task force and his wishes to make sure that the task force was engaged and helping us. When I walked away from that moment, it was, for me, an incredible leadership moment that I just experienced. And in further working with the senator and Jennifer and the staff, Alan, others, what I learned through this experience was how the senator was able to pull together the importance of what we're doing, purpose, the vision. He looked at the highway and he said, this is what we're doing. So he clearly had purpose and vision in his mind. And when he looked at us, he expected us, even though we all had a different job to do, to work together in line with that purpose and that vision and get things done.